Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live at the waterhole, where we're in Namibia at the moment at Safari Hook. My name is Taylor McCurdy, and I'm going to be your naturalist for the next 2 hours. If this is your first time joining us, a big welcome to all of you. I hope you're going to be excited as we look at wildlife through cameras all over Africa. If you don't know how to ask me questions on this live and interactive waterhole show, pretty simple. You can just hashtag Wild Earth on X or Twitter. We still call it that, like me. And otherwise, you can head over to the Wild Earth website, use the chat box there. But if you're watching on YouTube, it's pretty easy. You can just comment away on the chat and I'll get all those questions. Well, the weather in Namibia looks rather different from what we're experiencing at the moment in the low south. It's overcast, with lots of clouds, the temperature has dropped, thank goodness. And I even just had to turn the aircon off in mission control because it's freezing, which I never thought I would say in the summer months. But anyways, that's what I said, and I'm sticking to it. But I'm going to put it back on just now because the room is warming up. I think it's probably best to just go get a jersey at some point. And look at all the elephants as they are swimming around. No rush, no hurry. Just having an elephant of a time. Look at them. Some of them haven't even stuck their heads up for a while. Elephants, are you okay under there? Remember to breathe. I suppose when you have a snorkel, though, you just need to pop it up and then go back under and carry on doing what you're doing. Catherine, you said that it looks very hot. It does indeed. I imagine that the humidity must be quite high. I actually have no idea what the weather is like in Namibia at this time of the year because I've never visited. One day I'm road tripping for a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Doesn't that sound delightful? And then Jive Bunny, he said, whew, you're a busy girl, Taylor, with the live drives too. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I forgot that I was actually hosting the live drives and I tried to get out of them because now I'm super honest, just because I thought, goodness, this might be a little bit on the tight side. And because we haven't had any electricity, we're all exhausted, not just me. So it's like, for me, it's like 3 in a row of 3 hours sleep. So that's why I sound like I've just woken up, because I'm just going to let you on a little secret. I totally had a 2-hour nap, which I never ever get to do. There the elephants are very going, so envious. We don't necessarily sleep for long periods every day. But obviously love doing these shows, especially when we start hanging around on the Juma camera. I love all these cameras, but when I'm hosting live at the waterhole, it kind of gives me an inside scoop as to what I might see on the sunset safari. But I will be resting tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be my rest day. I'm not actually sure. Oh, it'll be Trish tomorrow hosting all of you. I traded with her one day. She also got booked on a day. She said, I was like, I'll trade you the 8th for the 16th. So now I'll be back in live at the waterhole on the 16th again. Now the elephants have found a small puddle, which they're using as the mud wallow. Looks nice. Little elephants going, this is much easier to drink from. Got some sturdy footing. Does not know what to do with its trunk. Look how it's trying to actually drop its trunk down and hope that the water will just fill itself up. I'm like, no, that's not quite how suction works, but good job, elephant. You keep learning. Lucy, you said that this is beautiful scenery. It really is. Any scenery with elephants is beautiful. And I feel like wherever you look in Namibia, the views are just so dramatic and vast. That's what I'm looking forward to most. I can't wait to go to a place. And I've been to lots of places like this, but just where there's like no light pollution. I mean, it'll be amazing. And then I want to sleep on top of my vehicle underneath the stars, like we used to do in the Mara when Wild Earth was there. That was my favorite part, being completely outside and just almost surrounded by nature. I mean, we're surrounded by nature, but we've got roofs and beds and that type of thing. Morgan, who's directing today, said that she would also like to go on an adventure like that. Well, Morgan, it's an open invitation. Bring your vehicle, we all go as a big group. Imagine how much fun it would be. And all the little elephants, of course, are playing around. Yesterday, we didn't have a very long sighting of the elephants at the same waterhole. They kind of came in, plopped down, and then carried on with their day. And I thought, oh, okay. Oh. Now, it might look that the elephants are pink. It's not. Or maybe it's just on my side. You can see they're all different colors depending on what soil they tossed over themselves. I hope you all have your volume turned right up, especially when I go quiet, because obviously my voice then takes over. But just listening to the splashing of the elephants, it's soothing. It's kind of like listening to audio of rain or the ocean. To me, this does the same thing because I know exactly what's happening. And then you can envision the elephants swimming and splashing around. Okay. I think what we are going to do, though, thank you, elephants. We're going to move away from Namibia and we're going to come back to South Africa and check out Mabika Game Reserve. Thank you, thank you. Right, the elephants were giving us a good time, but I thought, haha, let's go and check what's happening in northern parts of South Africa. And again, the weather looks rather different. Sun's out, it looks nice and warm. Elephants are submerging themselves in mud. I mean, this is great. Good luck to all of you animals that are boiling hot. I'm going to stick with the weather down this side. But it could change. Actually, I don't even know what the weather is supposed to be like this afternoon. I'm going to check for Juma, though. Let's see if we can get there. Okay, it's going to be 29 and cloudy. That's not too bad. That's actually really nice. We're going to sleep so wonderfully tonight. I can't wait. Then tomorrow it warms up a little bit, but still no sunny days. We're going to have overcast, cloudy days for the last little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got the elephants, we've got the water bull, we've got the zebra. They were all here yesterday. But for those of you that don't know and perhaps missed the sunrise safari, it's Big Birding Day, and I'm winning. I'm just joking. So I am winning, though. I wasn't joking about that part. But we've been having a lot of fun. Myself, Cedric, and Eric, who is at Amakhala in the Eastern Cape of South Africa, and we've been challenging ourselves to try and find birds. But now Cedric and I have come from beautiful hot weather, birds everywhere, to rain last night and the clouds didn't clear and the temperatures dropped with it being quite windy. So birding was challenging this morning. So I thought while we do live at the waterhole, I might as well just keep practicing because there was one or two times when I looked at the bird and I went, "Ooh, I don't know what that is." So I'm trying to brush up on all my South African little small birds. But the ones around the waterhole I feel quite confident. But if there's a little sandpiper of sorts, I'll need to just double check that. But there is looks like a great white egret or a greater egret, a big white bird. And then there's a heron of some sorts. I think it might be a grey-headed heron. It looks very pale from the front. And then you can see the swarm of Egyptian geese at the back. we're back with more birds that I have yet to see. So we've got two African spoonbills, big white ones, moving their heads from side to side. Then there are black-winged stilts with a black and white birds with a very long red legs. And then we've got a blacksmith lapwing in amongst them as well. And of course, like I said, a swarm of Egyptian geese. Joy. This would be a great place to start if we were doing birding at Madikwe. Was to come spend a little time around here. Could grab quite a few aquatic species. We sometimes see jacanas, we see moorhens, crakes, and all sorts of other things. Morgan says that I should be able to add this to my bird list. Can you imagine if Cedric and Eric found out? I'll tell them I was birding during drives. No, it's a lot of fun, like I said, but I am on a mission to try and win for no other reason. Like I'm not too precious about losing a birding competition, but I just like to put the boys under a little bit of pressure. That's literally the only reason why I'm doing it. But it's nice to challenge yourself too for personal growth. There's a couple of birds I'd like to add to my list. And then Catherine, you said that you need 6 more birds for your list this year, and you said I must go and get them. I'm going. I'm going to go get them right now. So just I don't want to tell you too much. I mentioned it on the sunrise safari, but on the sunset safari, if I tell you now, I'm going to have to repeat myself, which might seem that I don't know what else to say. That's not true at all. No, but we'll catch up on my birding plan a little bit later. I won't tell you that now. And then Penelope Kenyon, you said you hope you get to see the crocodiles today. Me too. We'll have a look around here. Maybe some of them are out and sunning themselves, but with everything wallowing around in the water, it's quite possible that they're also just cooling off. I would like to see a crocodiles catch a fish or a bird today. That's my wish. There's also a little a three-banded plover running around at the back, I think. Gosh, it's so small. That's me totally guessing. Yeah, bypassing all the stilts, it must be a little plover. Yeah, gosh, we could have added a whole bunch quite easy. It's at Juma, it's interesting because you don't have as many water systems like this. Like we've got quite a few dams, right? But one of the differences between the wetland system, the swamp that we're looking at right now, is there's so much grass, which allows more bird species and insect species and frogs, etc., to be able to come and live here. So, for an example, if Treehouse Dam on Juma had a section with lots of reeds and maybe some grass, then we would see all sorts of cool things. We'd start to see more crakes, we'd maybe see chicanas, we'll see more, I don't have to list all of them now, but can you imagine? That would be so cool. Birding day would be on another level. Jabani, you said that there were many birds on the sunrise safari and that the camops did a really good job. It was, and you know what was? It looked a lot cleaner and tidier. I'll just tell you my theory to it was because of the phenomenal directing. Not that the camops were not good; they were on form today, especially trying to follow the birds that were flying around. It's always so tricky. But that technique of as soon as we frame up on a bird, we go there. So that was really nice instead of getting the big swing pan. Although Panda is on camera with me today, and I made him do that a couple of times too. But he's such a good sport. And he also had free reign to point the camera at absolutely anything he saw move. So that was also really cool to do. It's a lot of fun. It's not something we do like, force down your throat every single day, but just every now and then it is nice to, like I said, push ourselves and actually see how many species we can get in one drive. Hello, Waterbuck. We're just doing a little scan around to see if we can find anything else. Penelope, keep your eye out. We might see a crocodile. I haven't seen the crocs here for ages, but to be fair, I haven't also spent a lot of time at the tower camera in Madikwe. There's so many things that look like crocodiles, but it's just the mud that is dried. Oh, I've got my volume down. I was like, why can't I hear any birds? That's so much better. Now I can actually hear what's going on. I don't know why I had my volume turned down for a while. So this is such a great gap filler during the downtime between your morning and afternoon safaris when you are out on an actual safari, is to be able to just sit and watch. And this at Tower Lodge, we often hear the guests sitting out on the deck and laughing and chatting. My binoculars would be glued to my eyes. I mean, gosh, sightings that we've had here: crocodiles catching fish, uh, lions hunting, all the birds catching so many different fish species, the Egyptian geese fighting, and elephants coming around and splashing. It just doesn't get much better, really, and it's always active. There's been very few occasions where I haven't seen much going on here. If this area does dry up completely, though, animals will more than likely just move off because there's not much else to eat around here. Quite a harsh environment in the open area. Oh, let's see, egret. Yeah, you've got your eyes set on something. What have you got? We see it moving its feet one by one. It's got its head locked. Ooh, I think we can see what it is. Is it a fish that was swimming there? Is it a crocodile that's maybe moving? I think it might be a crocodile actually coming through. Oh, there's another crocodile. There's two. There's 100%. There's two crocodiles. Penelope, here you go. Please, can you also ask for a pangolin and an aardvark and a black-footed cat and all those things we don't get to see. They hide so well. Just imagine you go, it's fine. There's all these animals here. Oh, there's a black crate. There's definitely no crocs. So I actually didn't even see that one. I was fixated to the left of the egret. And I could see that it was definitely something moving, maybe something a bit smaller, pushing through the waterway that the elephants have created. Pick it on the head. Pick it on the head. No, I'm just joking. But that would be funny, right? Imagine that egret just went, go, getting a bit hesitant, and are you going to move to the other side? Or have you seen something else? Oh no, spotted something in the water. Desperate for something to eat. Hey, did you get something? I think you got something small. Let's see again. I also got after things like insects, but obviously a meal such as a frog or a fish is far more substantial. See, it strikes at little things and then it goes, it like almost looks like it swallows. Goodness gracious, look at those reflexes. Where do I want to hunt? Do I want to hunt over there? There's something just to its right. I just saw movement in the water. Hey, hold on, I'm going to get that one. No, I'm going to get something else. Get something that's big so we can watch you eat it. Oh, here comes the crocodile. Come, crocodile. Oh no, it's waiting for the crocodile, is waiting for the elephant to move. Very funny. You just keep creating another water well. See, I'm like the egret as I get distracted. Did it get something? No. This is some serious action right now. That's why you can't take your eyes away from live at the waterhole because you just really never know what might happen. Sorry, everyone, you might hear me squeak and moving around. Wow, crocodile, what did you get? Oopsie, that was a big squeak. I realized that I was sitting like a croissant, or shrimp. So I was like, Taylor, sit up straight. You have to remind myself that. When I went to school, it was kind of a big deal. Why you didn't get a girdle, or you didn't have good posture. And you think mine would not be terrible because of all the bush riding that I've done. Quite curious to see what's going on with this crocodile right now. Like I said, I thought I saw a second one around here. There was a bit of a splash. But we're going to sit here for a little bit longer because there might be some action going on, and I don't want to miss it. I feel like we've invested now in this crocodile and the great white egret. We've got to play it out. We've just got to see what's going on. It pulled its head back once again. I'm talking about the egret, by the way. Now we can see its reflection. Come on, make a move. Oh, you're stirring up the water too much. It's going to have to go out. Let everything settle. Surprise attack. You can see I was an egret in my previous life. What's that crocodile doing? That crocodile's being nosy. It's really up to no good. I wonder if it's trying to catch catfish. Or maybe moving through the same waterways. Well done, heron. I mean, heron egret, you did get something quite small. This is where we just sit, wait, and watch. The SWW. Why do we also always have to have acronyms for things? I say this, but I do it all the time. Not that I ever remember them and use them again. Okay, egret's moving off. I think it's hot out of luck at that fishing spot. Their eyesight is just unbelievable. I mean, look how brown and murky that water is. We wouldn't be able to see anything. We'd be lucky to see the ripples. And if the water wasn't murky and we had polarized sunglasses on, then we'd see a little bit. But otherwise, nothing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, action. I really thought that was going to work. I'm listening out if I can hear another bird species calling, but I feel like I'm watching so much right now. I've got the waterbuck rump that I can see, we've got the egret, we've got the heron, all the Egyptian geese. I'm like, who's going to get something first? So I kind of like this angle at the moment. Okay, what we'll do is we're going to give everybody here a tower break, prepare so that when we come back, just action unfolds. But in the meantime, let's go check out the Juma cam. Oh, this is a nice scene. Look at that. Got a male and a female African fish eagle. Now, these are regulars that we see at Gari Dam on the Jume Dam cam. And then there's also been a juvenile hanging around too, which has been entertaining, but the parents are not tolerating it anymore. So now you can see when I was saying about the dark, gloomy weather. Not that this is going to bother them too much. They don't have to go too far. There's just so many catfish in and around the drying up mud that once was Gari Dam. So I think that they're going to ride on that ship for a while. Well, at least until there's no more fish to catch. Why would you need to leave? They just now have to defend that pool of water from the saddle-billed storks and marabou storks, or yellow-billed storks, or anybody else that really tries to come in there and get a fish. Is anyone that's watching live at the waterhole today, have you seen my dream sighting? Have you watched fish eagles swoop down over a body of water and grab a fish? Now, I'm not talking about a dead fish that was placed on the surface of water. I'm talking about a genuine sighting because that's always been mine. I always get so excited when I see them flying low to the water, and I just hoping, please do it, please do it, please do it. But they have not done it in front of me. Penelope, you said all we need now is their amazing call. Oh, absolutely. I am really hoping that they call. It might be tricky to hear them though. The reason for this is because it's quite windy, as you can see, and the dam cam mic is affected when it's blowing really windy, especially if it's far away and the wind is blowing the opposite direction of the mic. Think about when you shout into the wind and you are upwind and your friends are downwind. They might hear you well, but if it's the other way around, your friends are downwind and you're upwind, they're not going to really hear you at all. Oh, Catherine, you've said that, yes, you've seen a fish eagle get a massive fish out of the Zambezi River. So cool. So envious. That's my dream. And in on the Zambezi River as well. Oh, gosh. There's also a starling that has joined the scene. I'd sit there happily with African fish eagles because I'm not sure if anyone would want to bother me. I'd unofficially use them as bodyguards. Not that fish eagles don't catch birds. They do. They eat anything. I've seen them scavenging on a bushbuck carcass. I tell the same things because I have no new stories about them. I have watched an African fish eagle chase a spoonbill around while it's flying, trying to get it. I've seen them catching Egyptian geese goslings, and then, of course, I have seen them feeding on fish, just not the catching part. So there's no limitations to their diets. Imagine if birds were that specific, they'd struggle in this day and age. So a lot of them have adapted to be able to feed on more than one thing. I don't know why I said thing and not food type, but anyways, thing, you all know what I mean. That's a big South African thing, right? Yeah, see? Already brought it in. Wasn't that just absolutely beautiful hearing them call? My goodness, very special. So lucky indeed. And then, Raw, you've said that my dad once caught an osprey catching a fish in England. It was ever so slightly out of focus. My goodness, that's probably one of the hardest things to do when it comes to photography is actually getting the animal in focus. I mean, thankfully these days cameras have just got, you know, so great. The technology is just on another level. So it does make it a bit easier for us to catch those moments. I need all the help I can get when there's a flying bird. Thank you, autofocus. With animal tracking. Ah, sorry, it's me speaking in the chair again. It's not the fish eagles. They don't make sounds like that. Maybe the young ones. But there's no young ones here. Not in mission control that I can see. There's just an Alex sitting here. Are you coding? Alex is coding. He's so smart. I wish I could code. They're not up to too much though, just sort of scanning around. I reckon they're quite full over the last few days, consistently having food. Like I said, so I move away. Is everybody also having a sleepy Saturday? I know you're all there sitting watching, lying down on the couch. Where are my questions? That's what I'd like to know. Send them through, please. I love talking about wildlife, but I also love hearing from you. It helps me sleep at night. So remember to hashtag Wild Earth on X/Twitter, or use the YouTube chat. You can comment away there, or even better if you head over to the Wild Earth website, because then there's all sorts of other things you can click on while you're there. Victoria Toza, you've said good morning, cloudy Saturday. That's how I imagine you said it. I have no idea what you sound like, Victoria, but that's what you sound like now to the rest of the world. It's a great Saturday. It really is. I don't know what I would be doing if I was at home. What would I be doing? Maybe I would have gone to one of the dams with my dog to let him swim. Or gardening. I love this overcast weather to garden in. I mean, of course, you can still get sunburned, but at least you're not sweating while you're getting sunburned. So the sunscreen lasts a little bit longer. You know, knowledge. I think most of the cameras are rather quiet, so we're just going to enjoy all the birds today and make the most of Big Birding Day. But there's all sorts of things happening. I mean, we've still got the sunset safari, and then we're hosting a fireside chat. Woohoo! About birds, just in case you weren't sure what the theme was. Here we go. Holly, you've asked what's been the best courtship dance that I've ever seen. Oh, okay. So the tricky thing is that in South Africa we do have birds that have elaborate dances, but not quite anything that you see in South America, for an example. But anyway, I think the most elaborate dance I've ever seen is that of an ostrich, a common ostrich. Now I know that sounds ridiculous, but you're welcome to also please send through what you have seen and think has got the most elaborate dances. Of course, I'm just going to talk about South Africa because I live here. So ostriches are pretty good. I also love watching the various weaver species as they dangle onto the nest that they've constructed, and the males just wiggling around and flapping their wings all the time. That's rather entertaining. And then I don't know what else. What else does an elaborate dance? I mean, the black-bellied bustards, the red-crested korhans, they also do great displays. They, you know, vocalize. They stand nice and tall with their necks erect. Oh, the fish! Look at the fish. I'm going to have to go over there at some point, but I don't want to be attacked by the fish eagles. They might think I'm trying to take them, and I'll just be like, no, no, no. I just want to look. But I don't speak them. They don't speak them. I don't speak their language. Blacksmith Lapwing, are you guarding that pool? Is that your fish now? You're not going to let anyone else touch them? Wouldn't surprise me if this blacksmith lapwing would be able to keep the fish eagles at bay. Also, so tenacious. This morning I was asked, what is my spirit bird? And I said a fork-tailed drongo, but now I'm thinking about it. It could also be a blacksmith lapwing. Or, as my brother calls me, my youngest brother, he calls me Tarantal. Now, we're not Afrikaans at all, but that's the Afrikaans name for a guinea fowl, because he says I make a lot of noise. I actually forgot about that on Drive. So I'm also one of those, or maybe something like I don't know, trumpeter hornbill. Yeah, I make lots of noise like a trumpeter hornbill. So I suppose there's plenty of birds that I could be like. But anyways. But Holly, maybe you can let me know what's the best courtship dance you've ever seen. And where are you from, Holly? And you can see with the blacksmith lapwing being so light and such long legs, rather large feet too, not like exceptionally big feet for their size. They're quite easily able to walk over the mud and the little bits of water without really sinking in. When you had something like a yellow-billed stork, a saddle-billed stork, or anything a bit heavier, they would sink into the mud a little bit. So there's another advantage, an opportunity to access feeding grounds that a lot of bigger birds would not want to move around in. Can you imagine if a bird gets stuck in mud? That's just dreadful. Oh, here's Holly. Holly's got back to me. Thank you. Everyone should be like Holly. Come on, ask questions. You've said that you haven't seen, but you would love to see a red crested corehorn display. Oh, well, you'll be in for a treat. The problem is it's never something that's planned. You'll just be driving, and the next minute you'll hear the, and then they fly up and then come back down again. It's so special. I've never taken a photograph of it. I've only witnessed it a couple of times, and quite often it's at a distance. Like you can't even see the bird on the ground. You just all of a sudden see something burst through the trees, and you're like, oh, red crested corehorn, cool. Holly, you said you're from San Francisco. Okay, that's very nice. What's the weather like? It's probably not great at the moment. I've never been to San Francisco myself. Hello, warthog. Let's watch the warthog. Now you can see if I was telling the truth. Blacksmith lapwing versus warthog weight. Let's see how far it gets before it chickens out. You can already see that it is sinking into the mud. This is a young warthog call. Very nervous. I'd be quite nervous if I was this warthog too. I want to come out and wallow, but now I'm crossing a big open air area. Quite difficult to navigate. I'm sinking in the mud. If I need to get away quickly, I'm not going to be able to get away quickly. Now you need to weigh up your options. Is this the right move for you? Nah, giving up. I don't blame this warthog. With Tlalamba hanging around, although she's a little bit of a distance away. Oh, I did want to tell you. after we had our breakfast, our morning meeting, everybody disappeared, and it's good nap weather today, so we take the most of those situations. And as I was walking down to where my room is, I could hear crested francolins that they were terrified. They're doing that panic. I don't know how to make it. That sounds like a dove, but like a traumatized version of the sound that I just made, but sitting off the ground and in a tree, losing their minds. And then there was also a go away bird that was not happy about something. So that was interesting. And I went and I walked around. And then I was like, well, I don't know if I really feel like walking this entire drainage system, but I'm pretty sure there was a leopard or something that moved through there. I wonder who it was. I have to say goodbye to Morgan now. Bye, Morgan. And we're going to welcome Kulu. This young boar is on the smart side, now just feeding on all the little bits of vegetation growing between the cracks of mud. I don't even know what it's eating. I don't think there's much grass growing there. There's a look like little forks, or maybe there's small bits of grass that it's targeting. But once again, like most animals, warthogs have a varied diet. I did not see any warthogs munching on the reproductive termites this year. The alates, normally we see that. But to be fair, I've only been here and we've had one bout of rain, so we need some more. It's nice to have such a long warthog sighting because they always run away. And yesterday afternoon on the Sunset Drive, I think I said, I'm going to go look for warthogs. And I drove around in Chitwa and I wasn't able to find any. But then when we were driving the far eastern boundary of Djuma, there's two youngsters. I say youngsters, but from last year's litters that have been pushed away as the mothers of their new youngsters, or their new babies, sorry. So they need to look after those piglets. And, it can become a bit frustrating for them to have the previous litter around. I'm sure they'd try and sneak a suckle, and that's not for them. But they didn't run away from the car, so we'll try and get another view of them again at some point. At least you know which area they've been hanging around. I would go and find some friends, though. Yes, otherwise you're going to spend a lot of your time doing that. Terrified, having to check all the way around. And the light is not bright outside, so for any animals that don't have acute vision, they're going to start thinking everything is a predator. Oh, there could be so many things lurking in that tree line. It wouldn't stand a chance. Especially if it gets chased into the middle of that muddy area. It's a trap. See, the fish eagles have not gone anywhere. I reckon when we start the show a little bit later today, they will still be sitting up top there. I'm going to have to head round, though, to the dam so that I can add fish eagles to my list. I haven't even put blacksmith lapwing on, so we know that that's there, and maybe there'll be an oxpecker on the warthog that's hanging about. You also hear the yellow-breasted Apelles going chick, 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 chick. Wait, fish eagles being mobbed by a lilac-breasted roller. This is great. I had this the other day, which was quite special to see. You can see both of the eagles looking up now, just fixating on that lilac-breasted roller. I've been watching them on Djuma mob lots of different birds of prey. And of course they do. It's not unusual. It's just something that we see all the time. Right, what have we got flying around in the sky? There's something. There's two birds. Oh, the fish eagles. Sorry, I got distracted for a moment. Animals, where have you gone? Come back, please. Come back, wildlife. We need to see you. I think that we'd be seeing more animals running around during the middle of the day today. Wouldn't that be great? I'm greedy though. What's coming towards us? Are they baboons? On the damn wall. They look like baboons. Hello. Thank you. Yes. Come down and entertain us. It's a safe place here. There's the boars. Okay, chakra baboons. They're on their way. They always look so much smaller in the Lowveld than they do in Cape Town or the Western Cape, and or even in the Eastern Cape. When you head to the sort of cooler, more forested regions, sure, that female that's now on the far left, she's heavily pregnant. You see that big swollen belly? But with the climate being so much warmer up here, they don't have big fluffy coats. Oh, two females. You see, they're showing teeth at one another, or one going, leave me alone. Other one didn't even care. Now, Adam, you're wondering how dangerous are baboons to people or humans? Yeah, dangerous, very dangerous. I would not mess with a baboon. I would rather take my chances with a wild male lion on foot. Honestly, I know there's going to be some guys who are going, oh yeah, but cats are not the one that you have to worry about. I know that, but I'm just doing comparison with size of teeth here for a second. I think I'd rather take my chances with a charging wild male lion than habituated baboons. And not necessarily that they've been intentionally habituated, but you know how easy it is when they become dependent and realize how, well, why do we need to waste our time foraging when we can just raid houses and cars and also just take food straight out of their hands? So, yes, very dangerous. They've got huge teeth, and good luck if you find yourself cornered with a baboon in the corner. That won't end very well. Dangerous to pets. You never want to let your animals, especially dogs or cats, want to chase after baboons. It's a terrifying experience. I mean, baboons will rip apart pretty much anything. Right, obviously not a buffalo, elephant, or rhino or anything like that. Don't be ridiculous. But they would easily kill a leopard, no problem. As there's been many videos surfacing on social media where uh, baboons try and grab not baboons, leopards try to grab baboons, and then the whole troop just turns, and it's not great. Long time ago, there was a sighting of uh, who was it? Was it Kuchar? No, was it Tandy? No, I can't remember. It must have been. What it was? It was Tandy, Tlalamba, and someone else? Or was it Karula, Hosana, and Shongile? I actually cannot remember now. Anyways, it was a sighting with Jamie a very long time ago. It was incredible to see just how terrified the leopards were. And they all bolted when the troop came charging after them. They all got out of there. No hesitation. Oh, hello, little small baboon. That's very sweet. This is going to be great. Not that it hasn't been great. Well, I haven't actually seen many baboons on the property. Oh, very itchy and uncoordinated. Someone please scratch my back for me. Okay, I'll try myself. No, back to mom. Love me. You can see. Play with me. Oh, Shane, that's so sweet. This is not a teeny tiny toddler. I suspect this individual, whew, I'm going to guess. I'm just looking at the size of the adult. Maybe like 8 weeks? Maybe just less, maybe over a month. Not, I don't know, maybe not quite 2 months yet. Somewhere around there, though. Joan Mello, you said that you like baboons. Me too. They're so underrated. But, with the negative relationship that humans have with them for the most part, right? There's always exceptions. It's not it's not everyone's favorite animal, but I often spend time watching them. I don't like it when they trash houses and they're in the cities. That's a bit scary, but when they're out in the wild like this, if they do stay still and don't run away from people, vehicles, then they are great to watch. I mean, look at it. It's got the bounce in its step now, wanting to chase and run and play with everybody. But mom's happy about that. And Catherine, you're agreeing with my statement earlier about facing off baboons or a wild male lion, and you said, yep, rather be confronted with an animal that's scared of you than one that is not. And then just to add on to that, when you have animals that are like overly habituated, it's so difficult to read their behavior. The wild animals, they give it away in their face, their tails, their ears, even just by vocalizing quite quickly once you've learned those subtle signs. I don't know what mom is eating at the moment. She's put something in her mouth and is trying to crunch it. I wonder if there's a marula nut, and she's maybe trying to get out the nuts from actually the main part of the seed. And then Joan, just carrying on with this trend, you said I'd rather face a lion or a leopard than elephants. I really like elephants. They're very forthcoming with their body language. Um, So I'm happy with encountering elephants. Obviously, you've got to be really careful, right? They're enormous creatures, and we tend to be even more cautious. We're cautious around all animals, but more cautious around the thick-skinned game because of how big they are. So I don't mind them. Rhinos are amazing. White rhinos are such great animals. Gosh. Also got to be careful of them because they like to track you, pick up on your scent, and then they follow you. Next one, you got a rhino behind you. I feel like it happens to at least once in a guide's career, if you're a walking guide, of course. Lady Macbeth, you've said that you're with me, and you said you should avoid habituated baboons at all costs. And then you said, have you seen those canines? Well, hopefully we can get a closer view of the canines, and then you can see how big they are. Look at mom now, just pulling the little legs, making this youngster, this infant, do some yoga, getting ticks and mites and hard to reach places. And I suppose to stop it from squirming around, lift its leg up, then it's not going anywhere. She's done this before. Oh, they're so funny though. Go play with your friends. Oh my gosh, look at that scratching in sync. That was so well timed. Ah, Penelope, you said, what is it? Whatever happened to Susan the elephant? Now, if you don't know who Susan is, Susan was one of my favorite animals on this entire planet. So she is an elephant. And during the pandemic, Wild Earth branched off into different reserves, to showcase what it's like to go on safari in different places within South Africa. And I spent a bit of time at Pridelands when I was working with eco training. I'd obviously worked at Wild Earth before, and then I was there, and then there was a deal that was made, and then of course I was the one that hosted the drives initially, and I spent a lot of time with elephants because they were everywhere. They dropped the fences around Pridelands, which used to be a hunting concession or a hunting reserve, but that's of course no longer the case for the last couple of years now. Shop baboon running back to mom, scared about something gave it a fright. So it's a great conservation success story. But when word got out that there's so much vegetation that's been untouched by elephants for a very long time, all the elephants arrived, including see the same breeding herd over and over, and spent time with an elephant who I just jokingly named Susan, and then it stuck, and she put on some great performances for me. Just quickly back to these baboons, that was such a sweet, tender moment. I'm not sure if this is maybe the older individual of this baboon or oldest offspring. And it doesn't matter even if it is not, because they are social and they're constantly spending time together. But the little baboon ran straight into the slightly older one's arms as if to say hello. And now, of course, they'll just keep playing around. So yeah, so Susan the elephant. I don't know if I'll ever see her again. I think I will fall out of the vehicle if one day I find Susan on Juma. That would be amazing. It's happened before. Was another elephant I spent a lot of time with when I was down and working in the southern Sabi-Sang game reserve. And when I got here, everyone was talking about this elephant that was quite naughty around the vehicles, a big bull, and I saw pictures of him and I went, oh my goodness, that's Daryl. Daryl the elephant. Oh, he's a famous elephant because at Sabi Sabi Earth Lodge, he used to feed right on top of the roof of well, the whole camp almost is built into the ground. It's like a termite mound, if I can explain it. The animals are free to feet upstairs, and then they've got these huge glass panels, but don't worry, nothing that the elephants can really fall through. It's quite tough. And you could see elephants up there feeding on the marula trees or looking at it from down below. And then I found him one day on Juma, and it was so great because he can be naughty, but I always used to have great sightings with him. He used to come and stand at my window by my room, and he'd just have a nap there. It was so great. I've got some really awesome videos of him, but I haven't seen him in a while, so it's possible that Susan comes through. And I know, for those of you that have been watching for the last few years now, if you see an elephant that looks like Susan, you're going to call it immediately. Absolutely. Whoever is in that sighting. There's a couple more baboons making their way, just darting across the dam wall. I must apologize, everybody. I was answering questions and carrying on to only realize I think I was on mute for about 4 minutes. So I'm going to go back and answer the questions once again. Okay, we got the Susan story in, and then I took a sip of water, and then it went very quiet. Then, oh, here we go. Jab Bunny, you said, do the baboons visit my garden and bother my dog Tucker? So, Tucker's a really awesome dog. He's a bush dog. He is not allowed to chase anything, really. He's got quite good at that, even though there's lots of temptations. But he's also really good at understanding what animals are dangerous. Now, of course, any animal is potentially dangerous, but he does not like vervet monkeys. He does not like lions, leopards, cheetah, hyenas. He's also seen wild dogs, curious about them, but not sure. But he doesn't growl at them or get as nervous when he sees lions. Leopards, he wants to fly out the window and catch. He's not allowed to, though, and he won't go unless I release him. He's just had bad experiences with leopards. I also have taught him how to track leopards, which was quite to see that happen. Although we don't practice it all the time now, so sometimes I have to be like, no, here's the tracks, and he goes, oh, there they are, and then yeah, we found them on foot a couple of times. So baboons, he's not allowed to chase. He does bark sometimes at them, but the baboons don't thankfully come into the garden while we're home. And I've been out on a walk before where I've seen vervet monkeys and baboons. He is the exception is he can chase the vervet monkeys when I release him. And it's a great way to, of course, keep them out of the lodges. So I just send him on his mission, and he goes, wow, 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 he chases them. They go up trees, he stands there, he puts his feet on. I don't know what he'd do if he catches one. I don't think he would ever catch one. I think he just thinks it's a big game because he was playing without touching a monitor, a baby monitor lizard the other day. He was like play bowing and leaping from side to side, wiggling his tail. He thought this was the best day ever, and he's made a new friend. He's a funny dog. But anyways, so baboons, though, he stands and he looks at them and he goes, no, I don't think so. So this has been interesting, of course, to see the baboons come through and how there were two females looking after each other and grooming nicely, but it looks like a baboon male has come through now, and the female is going to give him a bit of a clean. So they're really social. They all have bonds with one another. The best way to strengthen those bonds is, of course, by doing something like this. Oh, watch out, little bubble. You just about fell over. I don't blame that little one for sitting a distance away. Sometimes the male baboons aren't as tolerant with the youngsters, maybe just sitting at bay is the best thing to do. Now, it's the social structure of baboons is so fascinating. I had a friend, not had a friend, I still have a friend, who just kind of lost contact. You see, running away from that. Oh no, it's a female. That was interesting. Sorry, that was just a really big female. I genuinely thought that that was a male. Oh my gosh, is that a. Oh, it's a baboon again. I thought for a second it was so light in color. My apologies, everybody. I genuinely thought with the size difference that it was a male too, but we can clearly see with that bright red rump that it is not, that it is a female. There's a big male just on the right now eating those plants. So they've all got different bonds with one another. And I love watching the interactions, especially when there are young male baboons in the troop and they start causing nonsense, trying to take the spot of one of the more dominant males within the group. That just causes absolute chaos. Or when there's a new male that wants to come into the troop itself, and how they'll start choosing one or two females that they protect and help defend the youngsters, a little bit of everything to hopefully gain the trust of those females, and then they'll admire him and, of course, want to mate with him, and then slowly but surely creep his way in. But you do have to get past. Oop, look at this young male. Ay, you're going to get in trouble. Gentle, gentle. Yeah, you need to settle down. That was not necessary. You saw a really big Come on, come on. I want to see what's happening. I'm sure that's a male on the left. Yeah, it is definitely a male on the left. Look at that big baboon. Look how he's standing up, sort of posturing, just making sure he knows. He knows he's the big dog or the big baboon, and that younger male needs to stay in line, otherwise he's going to get into trouble. This is nice though, just watching these baboons do their thing. And Catherine, you said, do baboons adopt babies when their mum dies? I've heard of it happening. I've never seen it before. You know what? I don't think it's impossible. Like I said, baboons are so interconnected with one another. They're constantly spending time. Even the younger females and younger males in the group, they're so interested in the youngsters. Even though it's not theirs, they'll go and often want to babysit them. They'll pick them up and carry them around. So it's most certainly possible. I think, it also depends. What happens if there's a drought or something like that? Can the mother then feed two youngsters, or is it not feasible? Every individual is different to each other. No two are the same. So it's something that I haven't necessarily seen. Oh, look, so the blacksmith lapwings are keeping an eye on the baboons. I don't know if they've got eggs at the moment on the ground, but they like to nest around here. And I don't know if this pair was successful with its chicks this year. Hey, come back here. Being caught. Just saying no. Okay, fine. I'll just clean your fur. Look at that. They're so funny. I wonder what they're saying to one another. Very itchy, but there'll be loads more ticks at the moment. So they need to groom extra well. This little baboon is asking for trouble. Everyone's sort of playing with it. They're funny looking things though when they're small. Ears far too big for their bodies. Victoria, you're wondering if baboons will leave their young in a different spot and go and find food, or do the youngsters travel with the adults? So the youngsters travel with the adults. For the first couple of weeks of a infant's life, they will cling to the underside of their mother. They will hold on nice and tight, and it's like they've got a vice grip and can't get them to let go. And at that point, then they can suckle. Mom will stop and feed. And as they get a little bit older, they'll then start, venturing away from mom, not far, just sort of playing around her. You'll get, after maybe like 2 to 3 months, you'll see them interacting with other younger baboons and wanting to play. Oh, what's got here? Both of them have got up and are moving away now. Oh, it's the warthog. Warthog is back, trying from a different angle. We had a warthog here earlier. I don't know if it's the same one. Sorry, Victoria. So once they do that, then they move from holding on onto the belly to actually sitting on the top of mom's back and being transported that way. Oh, that's great. Maybe we can watch the pig, because we were hoping to see the pig go into the water. I would like to know if it goes in there, right? Not just to drink. Also, that would be disgusting, filled with slimy catfish. Ugh, no, I don't think I'd like to drink that water. But water, I think it might be the same young boar. Doesn't mind at all, so it's just going to drink it up. I'm quite curious. Warthog, please go inside the water. I want to see what the fish do. Are they going to panic? You're not wanting to go inside. You just came for a quick drink. I don't know why you just didn't go to the pan that's not far away from here. What's it, like 30 meters, 40 meters? Where the water is a lot fresher. But anyways, again, I'm not an expert, Taylor. I should not judge. There's another warthog. No, that's a baboon. I don't know why I said that. I literally looked at it going, oh, baboon, and then warthog came out. It seems like all the action has now died down at the dam cam. I'm wondering if we can maybe go to one of the other cameras, just see if there's anything out and about. Rosie's pan might be nice. Maybe we get some little bird species. It's one of my favorite destinations of the cameras to bird at. Just do one more scan just to make sure we're not missing anything. Oh, lots of tiny little holes from insects. My goodness, on the knobthorn tree that the camera is mounted to. I'm doing a full scan around. What you doing there, baboon? Just chilling. That's nice. You look very relaxed. Cleaning your nails, are you? Doing yourself a manicure. Okay. Thank you for showing us how you clean your nails. Let's go over to Rosie's pan and see if we've got any new birds. Oh, that's not a bird. That's awesome, though. It's a hippo. Yesterday, I was hoping to see a terrapin on the back of the hippo, and my wish has been granted this afternoon. Woohoo! That's awesome. Sorry, I squeaked in my chair and moved. My apologies. No, we were watching marsh terrapins at King's Camp yesterday. I can't really see which one this is just yet. It's a bit too far away for me to be able to spot it. But maybe it's a serrated hinge. Wouldn't that be nice? And we got the two two terrapin species that we see in this area. I don't know why I said turtle. Anyways, I'm missing my cat. That's why, if you're wondering, my cat's name is Turtle. Obviously. With a slightly closer view, tricky with a light. So I'm just going to go with it unidentified at the moment because the differences are so minor. I reckon the hippo is happy today and just pestered every single day by elephants. But maybe the Ellies won't spend too much time in the water today just to have a quick drink on account of the cooler weather. I think if we can pan across to the right side of the camera, pan the camera to the right, and there's a nice little area just along the edge of the water where we start to see plenty of little birds coming down to have a drink, and I can hear them. Oh no, I did that thing again where I muted myself. Okay, this is a great area along the embankment. All the sun is even coming out of it. With a tree line close to the water's edge to provide a quick getaway. I can even hear a little blue waxbill. There was a brief view of a blue waxbill, which is quite camouflaged. So they like this area. Easy to access the water. You can see it's sort of a gentle, gradual slope to the water. Then they can quickly, whoops, go back in. None of those animals make those sounds that I make. I don't know why. Do other people do that? I have to make little obnoxious sound effects all the time. Oh, there's a small bird up top left. What have we got? Look at the zoomy go, zoomy go. A laughing dove. I need one of these. I need to see one this afternoon. I still need to do a red-eye dove. I need mourning dove. We don't see a lot of the mourning doves, though. Occasionally they come through here. So yeah, red eye and laughing dove, and then I'm good to go. We don't really get many more dove species than that out here. We've got the emerald spotted wood dove, and we've got the ringneck dove. Cautiously heading down to have a drink. Lots of dragonflies also flying around. I'd be nervous if I was a bird, small bird like this, coming to drink from the water, because terrapins are also quite crazy, if I can call them that. Imagine going to the water's edge and you're a small bird and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to quench my thirst. Next minute, terrapin drags you in. Would not put it past a terrapin at all, ever. Obviously, crocodiles would absolutely jump on board that train. Oh, we can also still see the makwa doves, but I haven't seen any yet on Juma. That's another dove we can have a look at. Of course, we've all got to fight for the same point to drink from. Suppose that area has been tried and tested though, and one dove didn't get eaten, so we might as well use the same place. What they don't realize is by consistently using the same spot over and over, they're putting themselves at even more risk. With certain prey species that live, not even that live just below the surface, but a lot of predators will sit and watch and learn behavior, routines. No, too scared. Wait, I got a drink and I wonder if it saw its reflection and got a fright. It's not that bad, bird. You'll be fine. Not even a little fly. I think that might even be a wasp of something that's just coming down. You see the translucent wings every now and then, but there'll be lots of insects around that we're just not able to see. It's tricky unless you're right up close. With these cameras, it's not easy to zoom in on them, and we all know how small the animals are. Actually, I took a photo of a fly. We went to try and show it to all of you, but then, oh my goodness, on the Sunrise Safari, the magic just appeared with Cedric while he was with Tlalamba. Wild dogs came in and they were hunting a young impala lamb, and Tlalamba knows what to do. Hey, she intercepted that impala so quickly and took it up a tree. But I did take a photo of the fly because I'm like, I don't know if I've seen that species before. It was beautiful. Bright blue, had a light orange face. It was not a red-headed fly, but it was something else. And I can't recall the blue bottle flies having an orange eye, an orange proboscis, or anything along those lines. I could be mistaken though. butterflies! Look at all of them. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what they were. There's so many ones. Those look like cabbage whites. You see, they kind of have that little greenish tinge to them, which is amazing. And they come through in rather large flocks. They're all performing something. I think it's a cabbage white. Maybe no. Maybe I'm mistaken. Wait, I'm just checking. It's so difficult. I can't see any of the markings. What is a vagrant? Oh my gosh, sorry everyone, I'm so rusty on my butterflies. Anyways, they do look like cabbage whites. Well, what have I got? I've just got everything mixed up. Maybe I've got everything mixed up. I will need to check in my insect book, but it is currently in the car. But I'll remember what they look like. Anyways, what they're doing at the moment is you start to see a lot of butterflies and things hanging around areas of water or mud, sometimes even on uh, animal dung. I think some elephants have maybe got into the water. And they have got these long proboscises, and as adult butterflies, moths, unfortunately, they don't eat. So they're looking for highly nutritious and energy rich and mineral rich sort of food source. But because they aren't able to chew, they need to be able to lap it up. So they'll unwind their proboscis and they'll be able to extract the moisture from whatever they might be feeding on. And especially for female butterflies, you need to have a lot more calcium, phosphorus in your diet so that you can maximize the amount of eggs that you lay and also the quality of the eggs so that they last a little bit longer. I'm so embarrassed right now. I don't know why I cannot remember what these butterflies are. We see them all the time. But last year we didn't see many, well, rainy season last year going into early this year. We really didn't see that many butterflies, and I feel like I'm super rusty. So I apologize. My butterfly knowledge used to be so much better. I need to do a bit of a refresher. But you know what I didn't do is bring my butterfly book, which was very silly of me. So if anyone can remind me what these are, because I don't know why I was in my mind, I was like, those are definitely cabbage whites, but now I'm not so sure. I don't think they're green veined whites. They're very plain. Can't see what's happening on their wings. Obviously, they have got their wings folded vertically rather than horizontally. But beautiful nonetheless, all piling up. That might be quite nice. I'll have to add some butterflies this afternoon, seeing as though they're all about, out and around. I know I'm going to end up kicking myself. I'm just trying to quickly see if I can identify them. Oh, they are African migrants. I don't know why I doubt myself so much. Sorry, everybody. I do this. It drives me insane when I mix them all up. Anyways, these are African migrants. Ah, man. I panicked. I was looking for the wrong ones. And I even said, are they maybe? I said they were vagrants, maybe not migrants, the wrong word. So sorry, everybody. So embarrassing right now, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm happy that we got to identify it, and I don't care that I look like a buffoon while doing it. At least we got to the right answer. Okay, thank you, butterflies, for fluttering around. Let's head over to Tau, where there are many more mammal species. Here we are, back at Tau. Elephants have moved away from the water's edge. The birds have come in hot, and it looks like the bulls are making their way back towards the tree line. Lots of Egyptian geese. Still the same things, the only additions that I can see now. Little white-faced ducks. You hear the go-away birds. Oh, is that a yellow bull? No, it's a spoonbill. Got excited again. Different angle, and then I saw the bill. Hello, Egyptian geese. It's quite pleasant that you're not all making a lot of noise and you all seem to be happy with one another. But it won't be for long before a fight erupts. Just with this many individuals around, it's bound to happen. Now I'm also just having a quick scan to see if I can see the crocodiles that were moving around. Now that they've got their newly channels, newly developed channels, thanks to the elephant. Oh, grey heron. Bring out the left-hand corner. What are you going to catch for us? And there's a crocodile. Amazing. Got it. I just had to say the word crocodile, and then out it comes. Catch a fish. Catch a terrapin. Catch a bird. I don't know. I'm just going to start throwing things out because every time I mention the word crocodile, they seem to pop out of nowhere. Here and just keeping an eye on it. And see now the crocodile's going under, and only when it moves and reveals itself. Otherwise it goes, why do you keep swirling around in the same spot? I don't understand what is going on. Are you trying to catch something? Are you making a trap? Are you going to come out the water now? Is that long tail gets in the way sometimes, especially when you're trying to navigate shallow channels like this, lots of vegetation. Such a great view, though, of the heron up and close, fixating again. Yes, come, crocodile, come through. Come say hello to the heron. Very confusing. So, if you do continue to watch all the Africam cameras and something develops, please let me know. Just remember to hashtag Wild Earth and say, tell Taylor. So then the directors or anybody that's monitoring the chat can just pass it on. I'm now curious and invested as to what is happening here. Okay, come on, heron, catch something. You've been staring for so long. Look at the size of its beak. It's like a steak knife. It would spear through anything. I mean, that would spear straight through my hand, no problem. Tim, you said it amazes you as to how the birds get so close well, to the crocodiles without any fear. So I'm sure they're cautious. They're constantly watching. And it's not to say that the crocodiles won't eat the birds, but just sometimes you get these understandings between different species. And I think that's what's going on here. A young crocodile will have a different approach. It might be more inclined to snap at a bird because when you're that young, you're always opportunistic and you'll catch whatever you can. But crocodiles, and I mean, people don't realize this, they eat so much fish. Fish is the main part of their diet. Of course, when there's carcasses to scavenge on or opportunities to hunt bigger prey, they're going to take that. But it's not that difficult for them to catch fish. So they'll fill up on it. And they're not fussy. They will eat a catfish. They'll eat anything. I reckon if they could find an eel, they'd gobble up one of those too. All the wildebeest and all sorts of things are coming down now as well. But I feel like I'm invested in all the birds. Got to keep my birds on my brain. Birds on my brain. Got to keep the birds on the brain. Sorry, I'm struggling with life now. Going to have to definitely have an energy drink before sunset safari. Oh, did it get it? Heron, I saw you. You gave 110% of your effort. I'm so sorry you didn't catch anything. It's been standing there for so long, fixating, trying to plan the perfect moment to strike. And sadly, it was unsuccessful. We'll see if it's going to carry on fishing in this spot. It might actually move on and try somewhere else. Poor birds are now starting to mumble. Not sure what they're mumbling at, if it's just at each other. It doesn't sound like it's too intense. They also, of course, just call and communicate with birds of the same species. Well, they communicate with everybody, to be quite honest. But that sounded like there was a couple of them sort of making that meh, 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 but not a wah. Everything's starting to settle down now. Oh, the sun's out again. Can't believe we haven't seen these bird species catching many fish. I mean, not fish, sorry, frogs. I mean to say frogs. Love to know how many species of frogs you could just find in this little wetland system. Oh, there we go. The egret is striking. I think it caught something very small. Nothing to brag about. Oh, off the herring goes. Where are you going, buddy? You disappeared very quickly. Comes a crake again. Also coming over to the water's edge. Joan Miller, you've said thank you, Wild Earth, and thank you, Taylor. And you've said you hope that everybody has a good cat a day. Yep, you started off with a great cat a day. And I have a good feeling it's going to continue this afternoon on the Sunset Safari, which will be great. I'm going to be focusing on birding, but of course, I'm always open to any other animal species. And then, Jive Bunny, you said you're looking forward to the sunset drive. Well, it's not long now. About an hour's time, we'll start to do our checks. Look at that enormous elephant. And then at 4 o'clock South African time, we will go live. So in about an hour and a half. That is a beautiful bull. Look how tall he is. He's got a decent set of tusks on him. Hasn't had a drink of water just yet and is now motoring. Yes, you're going to love that. You're going to get your legs all muddy. You're going to be nice and cool. You're going to eat trunkfuls of lovely, lush grass. Now it's always the game of where are you going to drink from? And why don't you just turn in rather than hanging around on the outside? Let's see, Waterbuck are going to get up though and move away from the elephant. I don't blame them. Off you go. Yes, he's very determined to walk on a specific path, and if I don't think he's going to move out of anybody's way. But it's been so much fun. Thank you, of course, for joining live at the waterhole. We'll be doing it all over again, but you're going to hopefully join myself, Cedric, and Eric on the Sunset Safari to continue our big birding day.